Ladies and gentlemen, we will now have a presentation on responsible use of data and AI, navigating India's Digital Personal Data Protection Act and global best practices, which will be presented by Shri Arvind Chandrashekar, Regional GTM Leader, OneTrust. Shri Arvind Chandrashekar leads the go-to-market function for OneTrust in India. A seasoned sales and alliances executive, he brings over 22 years of leadership experience with global technology giants including Microsoft, Pega, Cognizant, Infosys, and Wipro. Over to you, sir. So may I also kindly request you to complete the presentation in the allotted time frame of 10 minutes. That helps us go as per schedule. Please.
Thank you so much, IBA and PwC, for having OneTrust as a sponsor here and also for the speaking slot. In today's session, I'm going to talk about OneTrust. I only have 10 minutes, so I use this opportunity to talk about OneTrust, give you a flavor of what we have done globally and how we can help you during the DPDPA navigation. We also talk about the DPDPA in specifics in terms of how leading banks are adopting to DPDPA, which is Digital Personal Data Protection Act, right? And then if I have time, I'll definitely talk about data and AI governance, which is an important module for everyone in the banking sector, especially dealing with data and machine learning, right? If I'm going to miss something, we are at booth 7, OneTrust booth, so we'll be happy to address any specifics there, okay? So quickly, this is the team we have, 4 of us, Claire, Bhavya, Priya. We're all part of OneTrust. You bump into anyone, please feel free to talk to us about DPDPA and the data protection, right? So about OneTrust, we started our journey in 2016. We're a little over 8 years, right? We started as a pretext to GDPR. Okay, General Data Protection Regulation from Europe, and that our journey has been sensational. If you look at our numbers, right, 500 million in 8 years for a startup, right, it is significant. We are cash flow positive, and we've been investing in data privacy since 8 years. We are around 2,500 people organization. Around 900 of them are based out of India, predominantly on engineering, support, and a small sales team that we are catering to the India enterprises. 14,000 odd customers across the globe, which is a significant, impactful story for OneTrust with 300 odd patents. Now, Shailendra sir gave a good segue into key elements of the cybersecurity, but what is very important is the trust in itself, especially for banking, right? So we're moving away from regulation to customer trust using responsible use of data, right? That's the theme, and that's where our platform plays a key role, right? With 14,000 odd customers, 11 million odd folks every day contributing using OneTrust in various sectors. 3.7 million vendors through our third-party vendor management, 5 billion in consents that we manage across the globe, right? With 1,700 odd legal researchers working on our regulatory intelligence module so that our platforms are up to scale and up to speed with every regulations across the globe, right? Now, what do we do, right? I have just kept it very simple. In terms of OneTrust as a platform, is also very simple. Okay, we categorize the platform story into 3 areas. Right, what we have to do significantly well is to ensure that we collect the data sanely. That is, customer knows why is consenting and what is the purpose of the consent. Right, so we have to ensure that there is transparency. The second key element is to govern that data very well, right? It is important that collecting is one area, but governing is very, very important, right? And the last bit is about using that data, right, responsibly. These are 3 areas that OneTrust is categorized into in terms of the features and functionalities. I'll just dwell a little deeper into it. So collecting is where, when you look at collection points itself, right, the customer experience itself plays a significant role. When customer is coming to a website, he should feel comfortable, right? And we should be transparent enough to tell them that why you're collecting data and for what purpose, right? That's why our consent and preference module is critical, and this is a journey that our leading enterprises across the globe has taken. Instead of buying everything together, you start your journey small so that there is incremental return on investment that you're going to make in your privacy journey. So collection points are important. Once you have collected with a specific purpose and you've kept the customer in all transparency about why you're collecting the data, the next is to govern it, right? How do you govern? Governing is to ensure that he can always come back. He's a data principal. He can always come back and suggest that you continue with the data or update for a specific purpose, or you delete the data, right? Don't bother me anymore, right? So those aspects are managed using privacy automation. While the other significant element is every leading enterprise, including the banks, deal with lot of third-party vendors, okay? I've just come out of a meeting from a large conglomerate here in India. They deal with 3,000 vendors, okay? So that's the amount. As a significant data fiduciary, it is important that you own the data, and your vendors and the third-party vendors who are managing your data on behalf of your brand is also using the data responsibly, right? So third-party data management, management tool is another area that we focus on, which is a mature product of ours. Tech risk and compliance, which deals with security, IT risk, right? And AI governance, as we all know. I put some taglines there, right? Customer trust. Shailendra sir told about trust. As long as customer trusts you, they'll put the money in your banks, right? Otherwise, they're not. And how do you ensure that they don't put the money, right? People have to come to your websites and ensure that they're completely aware of why you're collecting the data. And the limited first-party data. Earlier, it was easy to get data from anywhere and everywhere. For few thousand rupees, you used to get lakhs and lakhs of data. With DPDPA, you have to ensure that you have a consented data, that is first-party data. So the more we thrive on first-party data, it is important that we nurture that data, and the marketing team and the other cross-functional teams, right? You see, from marketing to security to risk to procurement, right? It's a one platform, which is a trust platform, which caters to all cross-functional teams across the enterprise. And the last bit is about using it. So there are various ways in which enterprises are leveraging our platform. For marketing, like I said, for third-party vendors like trade bureaus, right? All of them are using data in various factions. It is important that there is a governance, okay? And also, very significantly, the number of projects, the AI models that are being built, right? You have to ensure that those models are consuming the appropriate data, right? Which is a consented data. So there is nothing called as machine unlearning, right? We always spoke about machine learning. The moment the data is fed into machine learning, how do you unlearn? So it is important that as a first step, you have the consented data so that the first party data is clean and your enterprises are comfortable dealing with that data. Now, in terms of the second element is how are customers navigating Indian customers. Specifically, we work with the leading bank, we work with leading news channel, we work with leading retailer, we also work with leading enterprises in IT sector like the system integrators, right? So the best practice across the globe is to ensure that you have the collection points right, okay, and it is fair, it is transparent, right? That's why our consent management and privacy policy management is important, so that the person who is consenting is also knowing that why he is consenting and what is the purpose of collecting the data, right? And the second one is building the privacy foundation. This is about your inventory, internal applications, dealing with the external vendors, and the data processing and the data maps, right? So have those flows, have the assessments in place so that you know where the risks are. Okay. Once you have that in place, the third element is operationalizing that, right? It is about having the incident. Say if there is a breach, what does the regulation say? Where do you have to report? What are the individuals that you have to connect with, right? And also the DSA request that I mentioned, right? In India, we call it as data principal rights. So any individual can come in and say, okay, I'm done with it, delete my data, modify for a purpose, right? All that should be done. The last bit is about managing the third party and also ensuring that every data use across the spectrum is governed, okay, and governed by the right leaders. So these are 4 steps that we usually take. And as you can see, consent management is a specific module. We have privacy automation. We have privacy automation suite. And then the third-party risk management and data governance. And this is how we typically want our customers. This is the maturity model that we encourage customers to take. Okay? And so most of us are here in stage 1 with cookie and consent. And we move towards the next stage with DSAR management and DSAR automation. And then the last one is about the complete privacy automation suite. Okay? I know I only have 8 seconds. Okay? But this is how it is, right? Once OneTrust is adopted, there is a customer trust, with 72% said customer trust has increased, 73% said campaign effectiveness has significantly improved, and the last bit, it is completely configured. So it is 5x faster in terms of adopting to the privacy journey. I will not go to the next one. These are the leading accounts that we work with globally. But then this topic I'll save so that we'll talk in our booth. Okay, this is important, but this is also exciting. This is a AI governance module that we have built. I would encourage you to come to booth number 7. Okay, we will discuss more on this. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Look forward to working with you all.